Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Daemonum, that shining beacon of light in the heart of the underworld and city to free demons. And welcome to another episode of the stream here in Daemonum Arena. Good evening. Well, I don't really think there's much else to say about this one. It's going to be another art and chill night, so I don't think I'm going to be sticking around here for very long. I'm going to go into the game proper. Into the event proper. And make sure that I get everything up and in working order. Just a second here. We go to here and we turn this on. At least get some good audio going. It's a little loud, but I can fix that. And once again, the link says royalty free. I hope it's right. I will always hope it's right. Still. So when last we left off, I finished the basic shape of the sword. Everything looks actually rather cool on its own. But now there's other stuff that I need to be able to do. It seems like the next step would be most likely painting and sculpting. Textures and masking, that sort of thing. And in a future, rigging and animating could be some interesting stuff to get into with, like, swordly things. However, I would imagine that UV editing is texture related. And yeah, it seems like the three things that are gonna like come up in rapid order here are modeling, sculpting, and well, no, I've been doing modeling. So the next two things that are gonna come up in rapid order are sculpting and UV editing, most likely. I still have that documentation set up, so I can at least look over at that while I'm kind of pondering what to do. There may be a lot of me staring to the side. This is just me reading documentation. That having been said, this is the modeling view. And modeling is where I've been able to do the beveling and whatnot. Then sculpting gives me a different set of tools. That's a lot of tools. Oh, that's a lot of tools. Huh. In that moment where you have decision paralysis? Yeah, that. This is what happens when you learn, you know, completely divorced from any formal training, but hey, sometimes the textbook route doesn't quite work. Know what I mean? The data block menu. What's a data block menu? Okay. I mean, it kind of does what it says on the tin. That's a Unity tutorial. It's not what I'm looking for. Oh dear. A lot of choice. A lot of choice involved here. It'd be different if I actually saw something of value change. So I guess that's the big thing. I don't really know if anything is shifting. Silver model view. This is in sculpting view. Hi, Redo. Welcome on in. I hope the evening finds you well. It's gonna be a pretty chill night. It's gonna be me staring at documentation for a while. Save. Size F. Strength Shift F. Brush texture Control F. Navigation. Don't worry, I haven't broken anything. At least nothing important. Welcome in, Zavern. Hope the evening finds you well. I mean, I still have to marvel at the fact that I made this with the help of Draconic. And another chatter. Box mask. It is a sword. Pommel's a little goofy, but it is a sword. Quiet. Welcome on in. Updating finds you well. Welcome to Daemonum, Dennis, and I hope you enjoy your time. It's gonna be an art night. I have the sword that I made with the help of some friends last time. Now I need to figure out the other stuff. Which is to say, how to sculpt it and how to put texturing on it, etc., etc. Practice makes passable. Perfection makes nothing but stress. All things considered, by the end of this, it should hopefully be of a size that's, you know, sane for somebody to hold on to as well, but we'll see. It would be something if they showed me a bit more. Or if just the barren plateau at the end of imagination. I like that statement. Welcome in, Australia. It's hope the evening finds you well. Let's do customize color the brush radius outline. Okay, I get it. That can in fact be quite useful. Texturing, which is, well, that's a thing. It is indeed a thing. That's not quite where I'm at yet. So mine's typically like, whoa. Huh. That does seem to have done something noticeable, at least. Kind of. Maybe. So that's rotation. Did anything happen there? Doesn't look like it. Ah, so that changes the size of the brush. But then, like, when I brush, I don't really see anything happening. Of course, it could just be because my eyes are not trained to see what I'm supposed to be seeing. Or it could be that something's not set quite right in here, and I don't know. Right, and you can see the cursor color. That's cool. My vertices connected to the active vertex of the brush. The only vertices share face sets with the active vertex. Talking about vertex selection, but like, is that what I'm supposed to be doing? If that's the case, not 100% on Blender. It's called tools usually need vertices to move, so if your mesh is low poly, you might not see an effect. Interesting. And considering we tried to make this as, well, low poly as possible and adhere to quads over tris, I don't know how it subdivides beyond that. It's possible that instead I should probably just look at UV editing. Because, yeah, if there's not a whole lot of polys, then, as you say, it's not going to look like sculpting does much. Also, I do love how this blade tip is still technically quads and not tris. One of the fun little gotchas. One of the fun little things to think about when, like, doing the original work on this the other session I had. Because they look like triangles, but they're not. Kind of be difficult to show off, but I could do it anyhow. Over in UV editing land, it's only a gotcha when the engine splits that quad its own way. Fair. Because really, by the end of it, like, yeah, how is it going to split that quad into tris? Because, like, yeah, that's gonna look like a wonky triangle. It'll be a wonky breakdown. Okay, but then interesting that they have those tools there, but here's where I start getting into territory, I have no clue where I'm going. So I'm getting dangerous. Random angle. Yeah, that sounds right. Maybe. That cursor is something that I've yet to figure out the function of, and it's probably going to come back to bite me in the ass later. Vertex. Oh. But where is that vertex? The UV menu and the UV window is going to be stuff to clean up your 2D net. Gotcha. Let's see if the selections change anything visually on this side. Don't know. That is selecting some faces. Could certainly be to see if the other UV menu has planar projection. View. Well, select none for that. Select pin, select link, select similar. Do selection modes. If you select mode, face, edge, vertex, and island. View menu. Unwrap. Or the 3D view. 3D view. See planar projection, but my brain is probably being too literal there. Cube. Like, huh. Yeah. Like, I get, in theory, what I'm looking at. Yeah, not what I expected either. Like, I get in theory what I'm looking at, but I don't know precisely where. Like, it's a cluster of quads. It's a bundle of squares somewhere on here. And I'm almost wondering if it's not, stupidly, like, the very tip of the sword. All the faces before. What if I do this? Oh ho. That changes the view of this in a very weird way that looks kind of concerning. That doesn't look good. Now try the cube projection. Oh dear. Well, it projected. Certainly projected something. Yikes. I'm gonna do some undo histories here. I'm gonna go ahead and oh boy. The shapes are there, yeah. It's just gonna a bit all over the place. I want to try something quick before I get too immured in this. Actually, I haven't really done anything of desperate value here. Don't save this. Reopen the original. Go to UV. Select all the things. Try that cube projection from scratch. It still does the same thing. But at least it appears to be showing everything, which is good. It's just a little squashed. Make sure all the faces, like sometimes backsides, don't get picked. Oh, you cheeky bastard. I know how to fix this, in theory. Well, I've got original. That's not what I want. Cool. Sorry, darling, I need some visual over here for a second. Toggle X-ray. Select all the thing. That should select everything. There we go. Okay. I'm starting to see where we're cooking with petrol. So that's looking better. And then I do the cube projection. Hey. Rather vastly overlapped, but now it's getting everything. I mean, I would surmise the basic idea is that it's kind of showing me something similar to this view. I'm a little interested in what these wings are on either side, because that looks like it would be like the edges of the blade itself. Interesting. Taking each view, stretching to the square, and stacking them on top of each other. Gotcha. Yeah, okay. So then, like, these big These big lumps on the top and the bottom are likely the cross guard pieces. And I think these thin pieces are, in fact, the edges of the sword. And there's a whole clustercluck in there that's the pommel, because the pommel is, well, a special boy. Somewhere in the midst of all that melange is also the tip of the sword, which is 4 quads. So we've got that, but then the other challenge now is, how do I paint it? Because I don't see any painting options in here. I see select, move, scale, rotate, general transform, annotate, rip. No. Grab, relax. Oh, duh, texture paint. Maybe that's where I paint things. You gotta worry about me sometimes. So I guess from here, if this is what it is there anything else I have to do to this? I want to clean up the layout a bit before. Right. So this is where things could get interesting. So if my selection mode changes from vertex to, say, face, that might actually speed things up a skosh. Oh, then again, I could also make things difficult for myself with this. There's shell selection. There's an island selection. Edge, vertex, face, and island. Oh ho. And then I would surmise the basic idea is move things around so they're not overlapping. Oh ho. And maybe a bit of scaling. Because, like, is this square is like the only real estate I get to do this with. I can't scale it, I don't think. But I can scale things within it. Oops. Oh, Control Z, you are a friend of mine. You know what would be really nice is if I had an indicator of what the scales were on this. I don't see anything that's like a statistics bubble for that. Maybe menu options to automate. Possibly. Randomize. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna randomize the UVs. That might be good to turn on. To interrupt the selective view island while transforming pinned vertices. Transform all islands that will fill up the UVU dim space as much as possible. Is this what I'm looking for? Hold on. I'm gonna do me a mad science. Back islands? Scale, rotate any scaled. Merge overlapping. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not clicking that. See what happens. Ah. So if I do that again. Uh-huh. Select all UV pack islands. Oh, look at that. How fancy. I did some nice rotating. I did some bits and bobs. Ooh, I like that. From there, it's just understanding what's where. But that's really cool. Oh, it's nice. That's the top of the pommel. That's the bottom of the pommel. Feel like some of these thin pieces. I mean, some of these thin pieces have to be the edge of the blade. But then there's these curved ones that seem to suggest they're a part of something else. Part of the crossguard? Bet you the blade is those 4 rectangles. Yeah, I'd be willing to bet that these 4 rectangles are the blade. These 2 bundled squares. I'm trying to think of where those come into. Oh, probably the front and back of the central piece. Whoops. That's kind of goofy. Follow UVs from active quads with continuous face loops. Nope. I don't want to do any of that stuff with it. Maya feature apparently select face in 3D. Aha. That's kind of helpful. Okay, that kind of blows my mind. So that part of that like bowing face thing is that part of the the crossguard, but it's the back face. Weird. Well, weird to me at least. Come on. Yeah, these are just like the front faces of those. But then, like if you go for the top and the bottom, you get these big old wide airplane wings. Huh. So I'm trying to find those squares though. Well, shocking nobody, those 4 rectangles were in fact the blade. I kind of figured that's what that shape was. Let's come into that conclusion at the very least. That tracks. Pommel, a large portion of that. Okay, so the squares are part of the hilt somewhere. Interesting. Ah. Okay, so the squares are... Huh. A few of the faces on the handle. Nifty. Yeah, squares are handle. Yep, so there's like 4 faces of the handle that are covered by those squares, and then another 4 faces are covered by a different shape. These are all also part of the crossguard. That is definitely the bottom of the pommel. This is the top. This is the tip of the sword. These squares. I think. I'm gonna bet. That's a problem. It's a hilarious problem. Problem nonetheless. The very, very tip of the sword is in fact 4 quads. And I think the textures for that are this tiny little black speck right here. That's amazing. The automated isn't the most clever. No, it kind of isn't. Some of these texture areas are a little concerningly squashed for what they're representing, but I don't know. That's a square. That's kind of a rectangle. Another rectangle. Starting to see where those show up at least. Yeah, and that's starting to make sense. I suppose the question becomes, what's my next step here? Considering I know some of these, but not all of them. Go in and scale islands or UVs to make sure they're at least the right shape for the important parts. Gotcha. So effectively, since I know, for example, like the smaller crescent-shaped things here, like these islands are really small for the fact they're part of the cross guard. Hey, Wyatt, I'm doing pretty good. How about you? Thin bits are just squashed in the axe. So if I select the island and I scale... Good, thanks. I like blender stuffs. Cool sword. Thanks! I'm just working on, like, honestly, a large portion of this is me learning from friends that know what they're doing. Because I've never touched, I've touched Blender a grand total of 1 time so far. This is my 2nd session ever. Backseat Blender. Wow, already pro. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. Certainly not taking, certainly not at commission level at the very least. So here's a fun bit. If I just, you know, work on scaling these up and just do a redo of the unpacking. So like if I select all here and I do that, well, maybe. See what happens. Skills boys down uniformly first. Well, okay. First and foremost. I changed things. So you're saying scale... Oh, can I select more than one of these? In theory, yes. In practice, maybe. Scale these 2 down. Is there a way to make sure that they scale uniformly? That's what the circle drag is for. So you can kind of like this. And then perhaps scale all of these down a smidge. And I think dragging on the circle scales uniformly. I hope. Hey, look at that. Nice. Now we're cooking with kerosene. Then we have, for the sake of giggles and knocks, gonna go ahead and bump those up there for a moment. I think the blade segments are large but manageably sized. Tip of the blade, I think, could probably use some TLC. UVs on that are interesting. Not what I was expecting. What about you? The face. Let me figure out what those are. It would really be nice if the the system showed me what I was selecting, but it doesn't. Because, like, we know these squares are part of the handle. And I think these rectangles are the other segments of that. And then there's just this whole host of really thin rectangles that I'm like, it could be anything. I'm gonna save the fiddly edges till the end. Certainly fair. Do you think there's anything I should do with the this thing? To be the underside of the pommel. It seems pretty representative, but there are those kind of thin bits. Hey sis, welcome on in. Hope the evening finds you well. So what happens if I just decide to scale this? It certainly finds you. I mean, sure, I can kick the can down the road that is scaling this up uniformly in that direction, but like... if I... oh, where's that selection piece? Really nice that they wrapped that tool band around instead of giving me guff. So I know what those rectangles are. Right. And then unsurprisingly, I get the full piece that I was expecting to see. Then, that's kind of goofy. Marvelous. Just kind of slowly but surely realized how goofed it got. Still, progress is progress. One thing you can do is run a projection again on a small group of faces. I suppose we wouldn't necessarily call this a small group of faces, but maybe. Assuming the sheer amount that I selected on the bottom half. Yeah, because I kind of wonder if not, like, doing it segment by segment instead of all in one run would have yielded different results. I select, say, this. UV cube projection. Did I miss a spot? I did. UV cube projection. And that in turn makes that happen. Now if I forbid. Right. Really need to remember to turn X-ray mode on when I do that. Just making sure. Because, yeah, now I have that lump. Select that island. And I can scale it down. Move it. And that's at least a fun little selection. Select that, for instance. I'd surmise, yeah, that's all those faces all the way around. Cube projection. Well, that's interesting. Grab the row below. The row below. Theory that should have worked. I don't think it's grabbed any of the bottom mask either. Or not mask, but like the bottom or planes. I know words, I just don't use them right. Sometimes, most of the time. 60% of the time works every time. Cube. There's something interesting. The stuff is overlapping here. Words are overrated, that's why we're hardening. Fair. But yeah, there's something overlapping here. Look at me as my puzzle solving kidneys. Yes, thank you, neighbor. I think that should work, right? My UVs might be a little weird, depending on where I moved those things up and down, but... Oh, is this UV'd by an absolute amateur? Yes, actually. It was. Yes. Oop. That's a problem. It's a fixable problem, but it's a problem nonetheless. There's still overlap. I don't want to do this. So first order goes down. Second order goes up. Am I smart? Sometimes. All a matter of perspective, really. Here's where things might get fun. Although, I just select all. Okay. Because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, this bit is underside. Oh boy. Try selecting precisely what you want to in this mode until I learn how to properly do it. I think. Yeah, I think this section's pretty good. I think that selection's good as it is. But then there's this chucklefuck. Do I want to select more than that? That looks awfully cylindrical. It certainly do. So much so, in fact, that I might even try being fancy. Huh. Neat. Of course, seems to be having a little bit of an issue. So with those SKUs, I couldn't begin to tell you. As far as I understood it, they're rectangles, but this thing's skewed all over the place. And now it's sticky. Skewed all over the place. Now we need to clean it up with a towel. Up, back. The cylinder axis was off. Yeah, but they don't give me the opportunity to define an axis. Unless I get tool options. I certainly hope it's not based on viewing angle. That would be kind of screwy. Try to tap on the right menu at the tools. cube on the right. This lower. Okay. Top. Tools. Okay. We're talking in like the thing that my camera is over. A wrench. See if options show up when you do the projection. Ah. So if I do this. No. Huh. This is the cube's transforms and such. Delta transform? No. It's change in transformation, which it would be none at this point because I'm not changing any transformers. Relations, collections. This is your second session in Blender. Was the first time recent? Yeah, the first one was, as a matter of fact, last Sunday. Another friend of mine guided me through the process of making this as it stands as a model, and now a different friend is guiding me through UVing, and honestly, I'm enjoying myself. I certainly hope they are as well. It's a fun program to play around in. That's modifiers. That's not going to help me much, I don't think. Particles, you say? Two shreds, you say? Yeah, I've been here before. Geometry data? No. Anybody mentioned donuts to you yet? No, although I did see a YouTube tutorial that dealt with making donuts. Ironically. I almost started following it, but then I was like, I don't know. What is with these skews now that you mention it, though? Donuts are kind of a Blender meme. I see. Used to Maya just has do with options on them. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't have a pop-up for these cylindrical projections. Also, the Blender documentation didn't really talk about making UVs. They just kind of go straight to texture and texture masking. So it's like, sure, but what about the UVs? Cylinder projection. Plan toward the cylinder shape. A spherical map takes into account spheres. It's easy fix to grab the UVs individually and slide them on the left. So you can effectively manually remove the skew. Which, I mean, I could do. Shunt you over a little bit first. And then I just had to select vertex or edge. No, it would have to be vertex. Of course, the fun comes in with determining if I've got that precisely level. Fortunately, I can't use shift to snap. I could do something cheeky, though. Maybe. Wait a minute. It doesn't quite work in that regard, does it? At least get them rather close. Closer than they were before. Oop. As I'm going, I could probably also do some edge changing to uniform size them, but I'm entirely eyeballing these skews. Somewhere out there, somebody is weeping. Better than they were. Still definitely not perfect, but better than they were. A couple of these faces are also just wide. So if I just kind of, you know, front them away. That's some work. That's a very strange issue with that cylindrical projection, though. Curious. Well, this person's trying to recreate an asteroid from NASA's telemetry data. That's cool. Not what I'm looking for, though. Mapping types. Interesting. Cutting long seams, but I'd have to define seams in order for that to work effectively, I would wager. A way to do it, but I don't think it's the way that we're going. Angle-based, conformal, fill holes, correct aspects. Island. Area weight. Seems tend to be for organic shapes like an asteroid. Could also work on this though, I suppose. VMAP, share text space. Length mode. Aha, cube projection. Maps the mesh onto the faces of a cube, which is then unfolded. It projects the mesh onto 6 separate planes, creating 6 UV islands. In the UV image editor, these will appear overlapped but can be moved. The editing UVs. They say there's options, but I have yet to see that. Weird. Unless there's... No, it's not going to be there. Options? Cube size, common, correct aspects. Let's transform options though. Huh. Is this actually going to work? Cylinder projection. Again, they say options, but where? View on poles, view on equator, align to object, polar ZX, polar ZY. They say they've got these options, but where are these options? Preserve seams, radius, correct aspect. Weird. It's a Blender UI issue, so I mean, yeah. Okay, so that's not the right modes. Relax UVs. Pinch UVs. It's all transform stuff. No. Hmm. Data. That was the thing I pointed you to, though. Right. Well, there's two ways of calculating the unwrapping. They can be selected in the tool setting in the tool panel in the 3D viewport. There's two ways of calculating the unwrapping. They can be selected in the tool setting in the tool panel. Tool. But that's based on the tool, not on a menu selection, I guess. Like these menu selections, I guess, aren't considered tools. Weird. Continuously unwraps islands. Pack islands generates an optimized UV layout with non-overlapping islands. Tries to efficiently fill this texture space. First thing I think when I hear tools, vertical bar of tools on the left side of the UV unwrap window. Yeah. So like, yeah, the tool box is in either of these two windows. Which, yeah. Meanwhile, yeah, Innistradians and I are sitting here pondering the fact that like these menu options don't have customizability. So like when we did the cylinder projection, all of the vertices on the UV on the left hand side were all skewed and kind of shoved out to the right. And the cylinder projection just kind of did that. Caret to the right of 3D axis view. Little caret to the right of 3D axis view. Little caret. I am a little lost. You mean this? Atom tool view. This is cool to watch. I mean, yeah, I'm sitting here learning bit by bit. That tool is where it shows up, I think. Maybe? It's like we're just hanging out. Yeah, effectively. That is kind of how it's going for the night. Options? Nope. Oh, Oh, something really blew up there. And, yeah, it didn't really change. It's not the options I'm expecting to see. Blender, why? Source UI is a miracle. I mean, it's accessible if not finicky. And if people get too close to the things that people pay for, the lawyers get involved. Sadly. In the meantime, for the sake of the art, for the sake of looking at it, oh boy. That's not what I want. Right. Select the whole thing. Select the whole family. Certainly not a perfect cylindrical projection, but it's better than it was. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. I think this is going to be another one of those moments where this is okay. I'm switching it long way a lot, too. Probably. I think this set is going to be fine as it is. That's pretty straightforward. These should be corrected now. Those are all starting to familiar. Yes. How about you? Ah. There's some goof. There's some goof to fix. Seems kind of... I mean, I could just select those four and cubic project them. In the interim, you with the face, we're going to scale you down lengthwise. I think I should do. Select mode. So if I just grab these. Well, you know what? Actually, well, yeah. Might be slightly goofy, but there's a madness to my method. Oh dear. Where the heck did I get you from? You stop that. You and you. Cubic. Gee, that changed so much. Scale. Better than it was. Now, the underside of this should have been pretty straightforward too. Alongside all the rest of this. How do I just go like so? Yeah, that's looking better. Make it the same shape, make it the right relative size to each other. Make sure they don't overlap. If you're painting in 3D, they don't need to look pretty. General philosophy of these steps is make it the same shape, make it the right relative size to each other, make sure they don't overlap if you're painting in 3D. Okay. Interesting. UVs are invisible. Most 3D artists throw all their good enough in there. Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at too. Close enough for hand grenades, horseshoes, and high yield atomic weaponry. So for the sake of checking. Ta-da. Yeah, the four rectangles are the four faces of the sword. Then this and this are the edges of the sword. But not just. There's actually 4. Ooh, bevels, yeah. And these were bevels that were done by hand, effectively, because they were just me scaling the edges of the rectangle down to the point where they effectively became a line to the naked eye, at least, without being ridiculously zoomed in like we are right now. I mean, do I care to bump these up? through sewing edges. Wait a minute. That in here? They talk about sewing in seams. For many cases, using unwrap calculations of cube, cylinder, sphere, or the regular unwrap operators produces a good UV layout, but for more complex meshes, especially those with lots of indentations, you want to find a seam to limit and guide the unwrap operator. Just like in sewing, a seam is where ends of an image or cloth are sewn together. In unwrapping, the UV map is discontinuous at seams. Peeling an orange or skinning an animal. That's grim. You make a series of cuts in the skin, then peel it off. You could then flatten it out, applying some amount of stretching. These cuts are the same as seams. Okay. Retopology. I mean, glue edges to combine islands. The nomenclature, yeah. The joys of terminology across, well, anything, really. Lord knows, talking to other programmers, I get that too, where people use different terms for the same stuff. I don't know. The more I look at this, the more I'm like, I don't think I really need to scale these pieces in particular up, because applying a complex texture to a face that's that thin just doesn't seem pertinent. Yeah, so these can just stay. The interesting thing is going to be, well, one of the interesting things that's left at this point is this bit. But these are good. And anything else that's on this tip is just ridiculously small, so I don't care. So I think I've done all the fiddling I need to for now with this. Stretch your blade squares to be long and bladey. Blade squares. Oh, so these divots. So then, over here in selection land, select these, scale them. Considering their orientation, I'd surmise I want to stretch along the X. Is that true though? Ship it. Not ship it, so that's us along the X. Yeah, that's what my gut was saying too. It's just kind of lump. Bit more blood, yes, bit more blood. That's at least the way the rectangle's crumbled, so if I do this, this is what we wind up with. Selecting the entire sward. All in all, it doesn't look bad. Yeah, okay, those aren't overlapping. They look like they were for a second, but they're not. So then, pack. Oops! Wait. Select all on this side, and then I'm learning. Scales, rotates. Fingers crossed. They could get more bladey. Like 1 to 0.2. They all fit. Looks like they did a little bit of shunting in ways I hadn't expected, but it also doesn't look like they killed anything that I did. Scales and such appear to have stayed relatively the same. Cool. That poor cylinder unpack. Save. And then on to texture painting. Ooh. We have draw, we have soften, we have smear, we have clone, we have fill, we have mask, we have annotate. In the interim, we have oh me oh my. Really wish that they would wrap the toolbar. My model I neurotically save as a new version. I mean, kind of moot point considering I already saved in the original, but this was way beyond me. Well, fair. Stroke fall off, cursor texture. Texture mask. Good luck. Well, we'll see what happens. Well done. UV is everyone's least favorite step. Interesting. I mean, in a way, I actually kind of, I hate to say it because it's gonna jinx it, but I kind of enjoyed that. Other than the cylinder, that was weird. The cylinder skew is weird. I don't mind it either. Fair. All off. Stroke method space. So like if I just... No. That in fact does not seem to do anything. Why not? Strength. Full. Airbrush. Looks like it'd be something if I actually had this feels strange. In theory, it should just be able to... Missing materials, textures, or linked detected. Make a new material and apply it first. Material. Where do they speak of material? Mask. Annotate. Strength is max with a texture. Times in the right checkered sphere. Ah! Jeanette. Material. So we have that. Excellent. Wonderful time. Assigning a material. Assign material to from active blender. existing material or deleting material. Every time a new object is created has no material linked to it, you can create a new material for the object. I've done. In this case, what is the new material in the active material box? Naming materials. It's a very good idea to give your materials clear names so you can keep track of them, especially when they're linked to multiple objects. Try to make your names descriptive to the material, not its function. Example, yellow painted rather than kitchen table color. So, if I wanted this, for instance, to be the blade material, then I would want to name it, I don't know, metal? Metal. Maybe mixing tips there, but you know. Base color. Want it to be more of a darker, grayer look. Metallic? Yes, please. Roughness. And bring it up a bit. Where's IOR? Alpha, yeah, you definitely want it visible. I feel like metal doesn't really have much going on in subsurface. Although, imagining such a function in a metal, I mean, bismuth? Kind of. Although that's probably just because bismuth itself is really colorful. Probably not like color underneath coming through. It's more just, hey, it's a random rainbow. Transmission. Bean. Emission. Okay, so I am starting to pick something up in my head here. Not sure if I'm picking it up right, but I'm picking it up. Hey, backface culling. I know that term. I know enough to be dangerous. Direction depth, pass index. So then, now that I've done this, assigning a material. Materials available in currently open blend file can be investigated. Okay. But again, the trick is, how do I now assign it? It's already assigned? Maybe. Try changing base color to test. Hmm. Don't see anything shift or shake. Hmm. Should be a view option like the X-ray. Oh, hey, look at that. Portraiting view, portrait picture. That is an unfortunate truth in this case, that presently it's applied to the whole thing. And that is not something I want the entire time. I'd rather that those materials apply specifically to elements of the blade. So that would be this diamond and these slats. And I don't know. I mean, colors or patterns on an object are achieved by adding textures to your materials. However, in some applications, you can paint multiple colors on an object by assigning different materials to an individual faces of an object. Paint or select faces, then assign material. One paint, two select faces. And in this situation, this is texture painting, so this is kind of holding my hand in that direction. But also, painting doesn't seem to be doing anything. It's kind of confusing me. Use material slots. Right now the material doesn't have a texture to receive paint. It doesn't have a texture. I did something goofy. Circle around the base color do. Animate property. I surmise that's like something that you can then shift when you're doing animation related stuff. Which, useful in future endeavors. Exposes for animation. That's where the setup file location on Maya is. Gotcha. Use shader nodes to render material. Alternatively, they just have specific shaders, which... I'm still a little confused what IOR is. Mousing over it doesn't do anything. Normal? Nothing normal about me. So, wait a minute. Going back to where we were talking about. The material doesn't have a texture to receive paint. So how do I give it a texture? Material to object or the object's data. Eh? Nope. Can I do that? Can I do that? Probably not. Of course not. Data. Material slot. Create text option in a texture menu, the UV window. It may have been. In the texture. Oops. I didn't even tell you to do anything. Texture. 6. Musgrave? Multifractal. Missing textures or linked detected. Sigh. I'm just trying to make a paintbrush do a paintbrushly thing, and it's just not cooperating with me. Wait. No. Weird. Textures. Textures now. Wait. With this. And this. Okay. You know what? Oh, Lord. I found a thing. Not sure I like it, but I found it. Coming back to that. Well, heck. Hey. Hold on. Repair. Hold on. What are you saying? What you say? No. What are they saying? Beeping and booping to a hello. Hey, how are you? Welcome on in. Hope the evening finds you well. I am stymied at the moment. Still, yet another night of getting much farther than I expected to. So that's beneficial. So they're saying... Yeah, trying my hand at 3D modeling stuff. Simple stuff to start off with. And my friend Anastraniets was helping me with the, well, thing on the left-hand side here, which is the UV model for the 3D object. But now I can't seem to texture paint it for some reason. And I'm trying to figure out why. Oh, that's not right. Image to be linked. Cause yeah, that's not right. But the folks in this segment are saying, what did he say? In texture paint mode, in the upper bar is a texture slot option. Yours is set to a single image without an image. Change it to material. Change it to material. That's not what I need. I'm digging a hole here. Can I see like a list of my textures to get rid of some crap? Because I just made 2 new textures for no reason. Nice if I could, you know, do some spring cleaning in here. Oh, it won't let me do that. I have no idea what they're doing or how they're doing it. Might have to do more off-screen research for this. I'd really also just like to be able to delete these two. If I could, please, but I can't. Because there's no delete button. Oh, for the love of... It's the cube itself. Ladies and gentlemen, say it with me. Brown is not a color, it is orange with context. Case in point. Metallic. Well, I mean metallic, yes. You watch Technology Connections too? Indeed, I do. Every once in a while. There's a couple of videos that I've caught of theirs. Oh. Yeah, I think I want at least a skosh of roughness on this metal. What is IOR? Something. Don't know quite what it's doing, but it's doing something. Hold on. There is no restore to default. Thanks. I'm trying to do that. It just says mixing textures or linked detected. Well, full send. Fingers crossed. Seems to want to try something now. Texture. Texture mask. By Jove. Huh. Did I just accidentally a win? This is gonna be messy as fuck. Oops. I like see that having an actual effect on something here, or am I just barking up the wrongest of trees? I might be barking up the wrongest of trees. We're gonna find out. Asymmetrical texturing, because I love making art professors scream. I mean, it's letting me paint texture-y stuff now, but not on the 3D objects. Letting me paint it on the UV. Is interesting. No clue if it's doing anything of value, though. This doesn't seem to be doing anything to the blade itself. So that's the handle. Honestly, that if I'm going to be doing that, I'd actually probably want that to be a little brighter. more coppery. Handle in the meantime. Not necessarily going to be silver, but I make it gold. In theory. It's a little bit of metal, a little more roughness. Actually, those look pretty. I mean, these are just theoretical segments now. It's just figuring out. Well, I found a point where I can actually make this. Wait a minute. Texture paint, weight paint, vertex paint, sculpt mode. Paint mask. Texture slots. Texture. So you've got a brush set here too. Stencil mask. Selectability, visibility. Show overlays. Texture paint. Stencil mask opacity. What other sort of stuff do you have in here? Progress has been had. Not sure how it gets applied across the board, though. I see. That's cool. Local view. I might need to do a little more research into the texture element of this. I am at an impasse, I think. Something to look into. Hold on. There's no render tab. Yay. There's no textures tab either. Wait. That's probably why. Texture pick render tab. Textures tab. Nope. I shudder to think. Hold on. Then again, stranger things have happened. Nope, that didn't fix a damn thing. Cool. Material versus texture. She thinks. Good idea. There's texture and material. Material defines basic properties like shading, specularity, reflectivity, color, transparency. Texture gives you control of different properties at a finer level. Makes it possible to change the characteristics of a certain channel or shading or the mesh itself. It's important because in real life, almost nothing outside of extremely clean glass is perfectly smooth, specular, uniform color. Everything tends to have slight variations which make it look real. Textures would allow us to mimic those variations in 3D. Which makes sense. Cool that the guy that sent this link just did not focus on answering the real question at all. Cool. I mean, I did that, but it doesn't seem to be applying. Step away. What's broken? Well, nothing seems to be broken. It's just not cooperating. I found a way to start painting on the UV side, which required me to make a new image that I can actually paint on. But anytime I try to make the actual model look like it, it just doesn't do anything. New texture won't connect to the material. That's what it seems like, yeah. I can't really find a way to link them as it stands. Definitely be interesting if it was actually doing something to the blade. I mean, honestly, it look ugly as sin, but still. I would have thought that the link would have been intrinsically drawn from the outset. And yet. Missing textures or link detected. All I get. Painting the unwrapped image of the paint appears in the 3D. See, I don't even get that far. When I paint on the image on the left, nothing happens to the model. Strange. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Use material slots option choose. So I've got multiple material slots set up. For applying the second material to some faces of an object. In object mode, apply the base material to the whole object. Create and select the second material. Material box. Sorry that I've gone so quiet. I'm thinking really hard. That's the smoke. It's all fun and games till the tutorials make no sense. Well, it's like, it's not even tutorials, it's a bunch of people talking about an issue, but like in their typical human, not really talking about anything way. There's one person that saw it fit to basically, answering all the questions except what you're wondering. There was one person that deigned it appropriate to basically just say, you don't understand this program, and that's it. It's like, yeah, sure, that's helpful. Perhaps one could, help us understand said program. But no. This person had to, needed to fill their smug quota. Needed to, make sure that us idiots are kept in our place, so we never touch the program again. Denizen of banality, be gone, thought. Go to edit mode and face. I need to figure out how to assign multiple materials as well, because there's multiple things here. I'm not sure. In object mode. Hold on. In object mode, you say? Apply the base material to the whole object. Shown in assigning a material. I mean, you don't really show me anything in assigning a material, folks. If and I'm honest. Materials. Under object menu, object. Sets. Collection. Relations, parent constraints, track. Rigid body. Convert, show, hide. So per their step-by-step, they say in object mode, which is this drop-down in theory, apply the base material to the whole object as shown in assigning a material, which I was trying to reread that, but it doesn't actually give anything. Create and select the second, or create or select the second material. The whole object will change to this new material. But it didn't. That's where I'm like, hang on. Something's not quite right here. The active material box. You know, that's another thing. Hang on. Stability, motion paths. Viewport still sent to render materials. It might not be. Viewport shading method, material preview. This is presently set to. Yeah. Modifiers, particles, physics, constraints, data, material. Fake user, new material. Unlinked data. No. Move. Specials. No. That's remove a slot. Let's add a slot. Filtering options. There's no apply. There's no drag and drop functionality. Never tried texture painting in Blender. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure entirely what I'm getting into with this either. And my friend Anastrania here has worked in Maya, which is, you know, the professional paid for version of Blender with better just about everything. Because, you know, when it comes to free programs, you get what you pay for. To a degree. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution, of course. Just the ever-present colloquialism. Which is the UIs are slightly, completely different, yeah. Honestly, I'd be willing to bet that, like, I'm not gonna put my money where my mouth is on this, but I'd imagine that the functionalities are very similar to near identical. It's just UI, terminology, and placement are all different between the two programs because well, everybody has their own workflow. And people kind of learn a workflow as they go. Substance pager for a while. I mean, Blender so far hasn't really been terrible. I know someone just went through animation school primarily using Maya and has to learn Blender. Yeah, I mean, it's akin to, you know, back when I was in college for game design, I learned in Unity and now I have to learn in Unreal. I mean, it's similar concept ultimately. Like, at the end of the day, it's figuring out the idiosyncrasies and how you get them to work for you and how you kind of learn the linkage between the two. I'm not going to give up, despite what that jerk online said about how people just don't comprehend. Oops. Do not do that. Unknown action. It's frustrating because it doesn't work the same way as Maya. I mean, so far, my two friends that have worked in Maya have been able to at least find linkages between targeted elements. So they've been able to guide me and teach me basics of model creation and UV editing. So I mean, I got this out of tonight. Concepts carry over, but hell if I can tell you where to find it. Right. Like, if we find the magic button, then at that point, I'm sure, like, I can show that to Innistranians and they'll be like, ah, then X. Case in point, you know, they brought me to how to make this happen over the course of the night. So, like, you can find it eventually, and I'll probably be able to find it eventually. And in the case of this, I think I still made decent progress. So I would still consider tonight a success. There's certainly something going on, I think, but it's kind of hard to tell. Especially considering I want some of these things to show up in different colors and materials, and I need to figure out how to get that to work. And I do think that the Blender documentation is slightly out of date, unfortunately. Oh yeah, this is a Blender 279 manual. What the fuck? Is there a Blender 4.0 manual? That might help. Lord help me. You know, sometimes I worry about myself. I might actually just do some light reading of this as I go through my life up until our next art session. That having been said, I think we are at time for the evening. So I'm going to transition back here. And before all of my usual stuff, I am going to say thank you, Innistranians, for helping me with that. Honestly, I've been very appreciative of my fellow artist friends that have been willing to come in and, you know, do the backseat blendering alongside me here. definitely helps me just for the sake of, you know, having a tutor, somebody that kind of helps me get the ideas and concepts put together in my head, because at this point, I think, yeah, again, the session taught me enough to be dangerous. And I will always appreciate having friends that are patient enough with me and my idiosyncrasies to handle going through the process alongside me. So thanks again for helping me with that. And thank you everybody for joining me on the adventure for the evening. I certainly hope you've enjoyed your time. Run, I'm dangerous. Thanks. Thank you everybody for joining me, and I certainly hope you enjoyed your time. And if you have, don't forget to follow along and spread the word. I always hope to grow the community, and I certainly hope that it's been fun to watch, well, a non-artist learn how to art. And yeah, I have to admit, like, the more I do this, I'm actually finding it fun and relaxing and thought-provoking enough to, like, just kind of zen out too. So I might very well continue to do this for a fair bit of time. Beyond that, I am on Twitter. I send my VODs up to YouTube for safekeeping. I have a Discord server. There's a whole host of other social media sites that I'm a part of. You can find links to those in the bio under my stream, as well as my wonderfully dense socials command, which gives you everything everywhere all at once. And finally, to those who chat, I appreciate you. To those who lurk, I appreciate you. To those who watch the VODs, I appreciate you. And I certainly hope that I can see you here live someday, should the opportunity ever arise. And with that, let's find our raid target for the evening. Make sure our list is up to date, as always. I wish I had a better way to just make them update that list than refreshing the whole page. I'm sorry, did I see? No. My eyes were playing tricks on me. For a second, I thought I saw Ecdysis online, and I was like, wait, that's rather early for him. He tends to start streaming at like 11. My time, that is. Not sure. Is what, that'd be roughly 9 o'clock his time, I do believe. Anywho, we've got folks playing horror games, including Parasite Eve. A little while since I thought about that. Voidhouse doing Lethal Company. We've got Techie doing Silent Hill. Likely doing... Wait. Silent Hill 1 Sybil mod. As in playing Silent Hill 1 as Sybil? Interesting. Again, Sash is playing Ratopia, which fitting for Sash. We've got Resident Evil Outbreak file? Wait. I feel like I've heard of that game, but I don't recall off the top of my head. Ooh, Demi is playing Phantasmagoria. Fun. Them and Us. Wildermyth is an interesting game. Not sure how I would go about streaming it myself, but I'd also have to get my hands on it first. Either way. Let's see. What have we got in the listings? Genshin. He's been trying to get me into Genshin recently, and unfortunately I'm not that enthused. Oh, somebody else is doing Octopath. I need to get back to that at some point, which means I have to get back into the inspiration to continue playing it. I've yet to have that bug bite. In the meantime, is somebody else doing Lethal Company? Foxes. Always go that way. Keep looking in the interim. Sorry, it's taking me a while to find a target for the evening, folks. There is a long list of folks playing. So, certainly keeps me on my toes. I do think we're going to go and raid Pepper Fox playing Lethal Company with friends. So here is our raid message, folks. Feel free to copy it up and paste it down. We make our way over to Pepper Fox. Provided that should work as expected. Looks like everything is in order. The doors are open. The portal is shining in the distance. I'll say to you all once more, be you denizens, be you hunters, be you visitors. Thank you all for joining me here once again in Daemonum Arena. Now, let's go greet another, shall we? Take care out there, and try to be a light in the darkness when you can be.